My name's Pamela, and ever since I was a little girl, basketball has been my thing. Well, that's because Dad was a famous basketball player a long time ago, and now he's a coach.
When you score, you stand with one leg in front, one in back. Hold the ball like this, and then you score.
Like this?
Well done, baby girl. One day you're going to be a pro, just like me.
Dad loved winning, and because of him, I grew up and became the best in my team until I started having these strange dreams. I've been waking up from my sleep for 6 months now, and I haven't told anyone. My gut told me that was not going to last.
Pamela, come to us.
Oh! These dreams again. Wild, right? I'm from Kenya, born and raised here. I'm just your typical high school girl, determined and confident. But these dreams are something else. Please make sure you subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Sometimes people think I have a big ego, but I just like making my dad super proud. Not everybody was happy about that, especially Sandra, a pretty girl in my team. Hey, what's wrong with you? Are you crazy?
Why didn't you pass the ball? I called out like a million times. You always want to take the win.
Chill out, girl. We still won the game. When she was about to push me again, the rest of our team lifted me up in the air, and Sandra just sulked like a rotten apple. After the game, I went straight to the shower room, but when I was done, all my clothes were cut into pieces, and I had no choice but to wrap myself up with the shower curtain. This girl had no shame. She looked at me with her cunning eyes, and I was so mad.
What's the matter, Pamela? You've run out of clothes.
This is not funny, Sandra. You can be expelled for what you did.
I'll just say it wasn't me.
I had enough of her. So I pinned her down, and then Bradley, my boyfriend, appeared and pulled me off her.
Pamela, what are you doing?
This she-devil cut all my clothes.
She's lying. I think your girlfriend has lost her marbles.
Bradley pulled me away and started lecturing me as if I was his child.
We have a reputation to keep. You can't run around acting like a crazy person.
Whatever, Bradley. Bradley and I ended up dating because our fathers were good friends. I liked him sometimes, but most of the time he was so annoying, and I couldn't really be myself around him. Once he drove me home after school, I felt like singing to the music, and he just turned it off. Hey, that's my favorite song.
You're a basketball player, not a singer, Pamela.
Whatever.
You can't be angry about what I said. We need to know our priorities, and singing is not one of them.
I sing for fun. See you at the family dinner, I guess. Bradley was a bit of a control freak. Like I said, I couldn't be myself around him. Later that evening, my family went to Bradley's house for a family dinner we normally have every Friday. And this time, my dad had an announcement to make.
Everyone, can I have your attention? I just want to say how proud I am of my one and only daughter, Pamela. She just got accepted to study at the most prestigious university in the USA. And with some extra motivation, she will be joining the biggest basketball club.
I was a bit upset that Dad opened up my letter before me, but it was also an exciting moment. Wow, this is great news.
And I'll be there, right by your side.
My dad had some good connections in the USA for me to kick off my career in basketball, so all eyes were on me to do exceedingly well. That night, we were all great until suddenly I felt like a hammer was banging on my head. Bradley brought me a tall glass of water.
Here, drink this. It helps with my headaches all the time.
Water?
Yep, water. It cures the pain like magic. If the first glass doesn't work, try 3 more. You'll be fit as a horse.
Just hearing him talk made my headache worse. So my mom, who was the sweetest woman alive, kindly took me home. After I got home, I crashed on my bed. I must have dozed off because hours later, I could hear my mom's voice calling me from far away.
Pamela? Pamela, wake up.
Eventually, when I woke up, I was sweating and shaking. No idea what was happening or even where I was.
Pamela, I'm worried about you.
I keep having these dreams about the ocean and some people calling me into the water.
Okay. And how's your head?
I feel okay, except for my neck. And sometimes I get these really bad stomach cramps.
Oh, that doesn't sound good. We are going to the doctor first thing in the morning.
The next day, Mom took me to the doctor. I could tell something was wrong by the way he kept looking at the charts. Imagine my surprise then.
Everything seems to be fine with her. Healthy young woman. I can give you something for the headaches.
How can you not find anything wrong? I've been in pain for over a week. I have these nightmares. I need you to fix this. It just didn't make sense. How could he find nothing wrong? I got so mad that I just stormed off. When I got home from the hospital, my grandma was there. I hadn't seen her in years.
Oh, you've grown so much.
Yeah, Gran. It's nice to see you again. I've missed you.
Your mom tells me that you have been having some headaches, stomach cramps, strange dreams.
It's been a rough couple of weeks. Probably just a phase.
I want you to come with me to the village. I think I know someone who could help.
Someone like who?
A village healer.
Gran, I don't believe in all that stuff.
I think you should go with your grandmother.
I could see the worry in my mom's eyes, but I didn't want to go there. And just when I was about to reject them, a soaring pain went right through my back.
Come, we need to go.
Mom and Gran got me to the village as quickly as they could. Normally, I would have been thrilled to visit. Not so much today. Honestly, I couldn't believe what was happening to me. I was scared but didn't want to show it. My mouth was dry. Pain was shooting through every cell in my body. I wanted to be anywhere but here, but something deep inside was telling me it was going to be okay. Mom and Gran took me into this strange hut, and when we were inside, there was a man who was seated on a straw mat. He glared at me like a zombie. Mom, Gran, are you sure about this?
Yes, come, sit.
My heart pounded as I sat down, wondering what was going to happen next.
Finally you have arrived.
Were you expecting me? Jeez!
Quiet.
This was getting creepier by the moment. No, I can't do this.
You have the calling.
I knew it.
I had no idea what he was talking about. And then he tied a black string around my ankle while my mom and Gran just watched.
There's not much time left. She needs to start the training before it's too late.
Too late? What are you talking about?
You have a calling from your ancestors to be a healer like him. It is a great honor.
What? No way, I don't want that. I'm going to the USA to be a famous basketball player.
She's still so young. What can we do to make the ancestors wait a little longer?
You cannot make the ancestors do anything.
Mom, do you really believe in all this stuff?
Yes, it's part of who we are.
Make them know. Ask them. Yes. She needs to come with me to the river and ask her ancestors for time.
This was a lovely experience, but I have a big game to practice for. I really wanted to go home, but Mom insisted we sleep over. I was tired and didn't even remember dozing off. The next morning, I woke up with another banging headache. Unfortunately, I forgot to bring my medication. Do you still have water?
This is the village. You can get water from the tap.
Just when I was about to argue with the guy for his bad customer service, a tall guy with the most beautiful brown eyes touched my shoulder.
He's right, you know. Everyone here drinks water from the tap. Tastes the same. Better, actually.
Haha, wow. I guess I have no choice.
I've never seen you around here before.
My grandmother lives here. I just came to visit.
That's nice. I'm Jeff. And you are?
I shook his hand, feeling so many butterflies rolling in my tummy. And do you live around here?
My grandmother does. I come here for my training.
Wow, you also have this calling thing too?
Yes. I'm guessing you're here because of that.
Yeah, but I don't believe in those things. I have to go now.
The pain and cramps only get worse if you don't accept it. It's actually not such a bad thing. Zenona.
So I've heard. I walked away because I still thought the whole thing was crazy. At least, that's what I kept telling myself.
Aha. You two are back. Finally. So how was the village?
Creepy. Gran took me to some healer and he said I had some kind of calling from the dead or whatever. How crazy is that?
You took her to a healer and you didn't tell me.
I had to. She was in so much pain, and she has no choice. She must answer the call.
No, this is not happening. We don't believe in that stuff.
You don't believe in it? But I do.
Mom and Dad got into an argument, and I let them be and went off to take a bath. I couldn't wait for practice. I felt good, but when I walked into the courtroom, my mind froze when I saw Sandra hugging Bradley. I couldn't believe it. Hey, what's going on?
Pamela,
What are you up to, Sandra?
It's not my fault that your man is into me.
My blood boiled. I looked at Bradley, but he looked away, and then I walked up to him and slapped him. You two actually make a great match. It's like two snobs in the pod. Goodbye, Bradley. Thank goodness I drove Mom's car to school. Suddenly, my life felt like a complete mess. I sat at that intersection for 10 minutes, just thinking. In one direction, home. The other to the village.
We're waiting for you, Pamela.
I couldn't understand what was happening to me. It was like I was in another world. My head was spinning. I had to choose my path. When I got to my grandmother, she was gone. I just wanted all of this to go away. I didn't know what to do.
Pamela,
Help! I need help! My head!
come. We need to go to the healer. She needs help. Her pain is increasing. I can't help her because she won't accept who she is.
At this point, I just wanted it all to stop. I couldn't handle the thumping sound in my head any longer, so I burst out. Okay, I accept it. Just tell me what to do.
Come. We have to go to the river.
I found myself in the middle of a freezing river, wondering what might eat me below the surface. I still couldn't believe all this was happening just because of some weird dreams and headaches.
You need to talk to them.
Like how? What do I say?
Tell them what's in your heart. Ask for some time. You'll have to do this by yourself. We'll wait for you.
I was a little scared to be left there alone talking to my ancestors, so I closed my eyes and spoke from my heart. Hi, everyone that's here listening. I want to be a basketball player, but you want me to be a healer. I've never really thought of myself as a healer, see? So this is pretty weird. So why me? I opened my eyes and waited for an answer, but there was just stillness. I accept this, but I need you to give me some time to understand how all this works. And just like that, the headache was gone. So was the pain in my back. I felt so light, like I had nothing to worry about.
They have heard you, Pamela.
They don't say much, do they?
They do if you're listening. Hey, what are you doing up so late? Don't you have practice tomorrow?
Yes, I do. Dad, I've decided to put my basketball dream on hold for a while.
What? No, you can't do that. Stop talking like that.
I'm answering the calling, Dad.
What about your future? America. This is all your mother's fault.
No, Dad. Not everything is about winning. If I don't do this for me, then I'll never be complete. It's who I am, and I accept it. Why can't you? My dad was upset that night, but I knew he'd get over it, and one day he'd be thankful. My training took 12 months to complete, and soon I was able to help other young people like myself.
I'm so proud of you, Pamela.
I would have never done this without you. Jeff and I got really close while I was training, and I kind of fell in love with him.
Where are you taking me?
To our daughter.
Don't be afraid, Dad. This is why I made my choice, so that I can help.
I don't believe in all this stuff.
Not yet. Dad eventually got better and we were speaking again. I was a healer. I saved my father and I was happy. And then one day, my ancestors came into my dreams again. Only this time, I was listening. One thing's for sure, my ancestors were not subtle, and they were kind of hard to ignore. I didn't need an interpreter to know what they were saying. It's weird how life turns out. I always thought I was going to be a rich and famous basketball player, but that was my dad's dream. My ancestors helped me find my own dream. They showed me the way to be a leader and a healer. And now, thanks to their guidance, I feel complete being a coach and a healer. Something tells me that my new life is going to be just fine.
I have something called social anxiety. I get so nervous when I'm around people. Recess was the worst time of day for me because kids like Marley would suddenly sneak up behind me.
Relax, weirdo. What are you doing standing like a little creep behind the wall? Why don't you just get out there and make friends?
Maybe because I don't want friends? And what are you hiding in your other hand?
This!
This is the reason I don't have friends. Hi, I'm Aria, and I'm from Tennessee. I loved being home with my parents. And while we were eating dinner that night, I came up with a solution to solve my anxiety problem. Mom, since you're taking a break from work, maybe you can homeschool me. Aria, I'm taking this break so I can focus on my novel. Your therapist said the only way you can overcome your fears is by being around people.
I have something better in mind that might just help. Summer school.
What? That only meant more new faces. I really don't see how summer camp is going to change anything. My parents eventually convinced me that summer camp would be good for me, but I still stayed hidden away. All the new faces definitely made me more nervous until one day when I really wanted a candy bar from the vending machine in the office. Hi, could you change a $10 note? I want something from the vending machine.
Sure, honey. Here you go.
I waited behind another girl who wanted a soda, but looked very frustrated. I soon found out why.
Hi, can I borrow some money? I don't have enough and my friends and I are so thirsty. What is it? Can I have some or not?
And with that, the girl shoved me into the machine, and soda dropped down the chute.
Thanks, for nothing.
I crouched down against the machine and cried. Just then, I saw the girl coming back. I was so afraid. But behind her was another girl who was pushing her towards me.
Apologize! Now! Or else! I'm sorry, and here is my money. You can get whatever you want.
And that's how I met Cassidy. I shadowed Cassidy the entire summer camp, and she wasn't scared of anything.
Come on, it's your turn, Aria.
What if I fall? I won't let you fall. Ever. Cassidy wasn't like the other kids. We snuck out of our cabins at night to chat and watch Storytime animated videos and eat s'mores. I had the time of my life. After summer camp, it was back to school for me, and I felt more confident because of who I saw.
Surprise!
I told my parents to transfer me to your school. Oh, wow! That's great! I was happy, but also thought it was strange. But anyway, since I didn't have any friends, it was a good thing. Until she started coming to my house. Cassidy, it's your turn. Let's see if you can maintain that winning streak.
Of course she can. She's a born winner.
Nah, I just practice, and give it my best shot.
Listen, she even talks like a winner. Your parents must be so proud of you.
It almost seemed like my parents loved her more than me. And whenever we mentioned her parents, she looked sad or she changed the subject. Cassidy, how come you never talk about your family? Because they're always busy. I'll see you at school tomorrow. Back at school, Cassidy also seemed to be the shining star amongst the other kids. Once she even showed everyone that she could balance a straight line of books on her head throughout recess. This was a bet she made with some random guy.
Cassidy! Cassidy! Cassidy!
I eventually got tired of standing around watching Cassidy, so I went to the bathroom, which was such bad timing since I found Marley there, fixing her hair.
Hey, Aria, how are you doing? I haven't seen you standing behind anything lately.
Oh, you're so funny, ha. Cassidy and I are really busy with our science project.
Cassidy, oh, her! She seems to be more likable than you.
Well, I don't care about being liked. You know that.
Oh, yeah. I saw how your parents get so excited when they see Cassidy every time they pick you up after school. It must be tough not being a perfect child like her.
I didn't care about being liked at school, but I did care about my parents liking her more than me. So I had to make some changes. I decided maybe I didn't need Cassidy anymore. I was good without her. I got excellent grades and even did some sports, and other kids at school started hanging out with me. Even Marley started liking me.
Hey, ladies, mind if I get a spot over there?
Sure, but Marley and I are just going to take a walk outside. Aren't we, Marley?
Okay. But remember, we have to meet at your house this afternoon to complete our science project.
Oh, actually, I'm gonna take a rain check on that one. I can't do today. The next day at school, I was hanging out with Marley when Cassidy appeared.
Hey, Ari, can we talk about the science project, please? We're falling behind pretty bad.
Oh yeah, about that? Marley and I are a better fit, so we're going to work together. You don't mind, do you?
No, actually, it's cool. I'll just finish this on my own then. See you around.
And the next day, Cassidy didn't come around. And the next, and the next. After I dumped Cassidy, Marley turned out to be a terrible science project partner, since she always ditched me when I started talking about the project.
Hi, darling. Are you all right? Do you need some help?
No thanks, Mom. Marley should be here soon. Marley never came, and Dad decided to step in because we needed to present the next day.
Harry, darling, I haven't seen Cassidy in a while, and Mom said that Marley is supposed to be doing this project with you. I hope that you get a good grade and blow everyone's socks off.
Thanks, Dad. I hope so too.
Oh, and one more thing. Good friends stick with you through good times and the bad times. Just remember that.
Dad had a point about true friends, so I needed to test Marley's friendship.
Hey, Marley, what happened yesterday? I waited all afternoon. You didn't pitch in, and I couldn't complete the project. We're going to fail. Oh, man, my dad felt so sick, and I needed to stay home and take care of him. Look, I even have a note for the teacher.
I felt like a jerk. Her dad was sick, and I was trying to test her. She even had a note to ask for an extension on the deadline for our project. She had to be a true friend, but she was awfully giggly and chatty for someone with a sick dad. And when we presented the project I worked on, Marley kept repeating everything I said and just spoke louder than me.
Our project is about vegetative production and cloning plants. Our project is about vegetative production and cloning plants.
The teacher eventually got tired of Marley echoing after me and asked us to sit down before I could even finish.
What was that about? I was just trying to help since my father is sick and I couldn't help with the project. I wanted to have some input.
It's okay. I understand. Next up was Cassidy, and she made a volcano, which looked so cool. She was definitely going to get a high score. And then Marley whispered in my ear,
"Don't worry, she's not scoring any marks today."
"What are you talking about?"
"Watch and see."
Cassidy's volcano didn't erupt the way she wanted it to, and that's because Marley swapped the bicarbonate soda with sugar. I was so mad at Marley. But later after school, I found her crying.
"Marley, why are you crying?" "Yes, I'm so sorry for what I did to Cassidy. I'm going through a lot right now with my dad being sick, you know."
Yeah, it's okay. Cassidy is smart. She'll do well in her next project. Before I could head home, Marley invited me to hang out with her and some of her other friends at the Burger Creek.
"So, what are you wearing to the fall dance?"
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. We can go with my dad tomorrow.
"But I thought your dad was sick." "Oh, yeah, I meant my mom."
Oh,
Great. When we were at the dance the next night, Marley gave me a package to keep away in my bag, which I found so strange. Aria, hey, take this. What is it? I'll explain when we're inside. When I opened the package, it was a bottle of olive oil. I didn't understand. Where's the bottle? In my purse? Marley, what's going on? Just pour a little on the dance floor over there. It's where Cassidy is. Marley, no! I refuse to do that! What if someone did that to you? How bad could it be? She will slip, land on her butt, and everyone will laugh. Have a little fun. Just do it. And plus, it's part of the initiation if you want to hang out with the popular crowd. How bad could it be? Pretty bad, it turns out. Cassidy slipped and landed on her arm instead, and then the other kids who tried helping her up also slipped. The dance had to be stopped, and Cassidy was taken in an ambulance to the hospital. As soon as I could, I ran outside the dance hall and found Marley with her dad. He looked completely healthy. Marley, you told me your dad was sick! Well, he's better now. I felt like such a buffoon for listening to Marley. The next day at school, the principal made an announcement at the morning assembly.
The senior prom is cancelled. We'll give the guilty party 3 days to confess.
What does that even mean? I couldn't deal with Marley right now, so I moved over to the empty seat next to me. She didn't even care about what happened to Cassidy. During recess, I tried to avoid Marley completely, but she still didn't get the picture. What's your problem? My problem? Marley, Cassidy has to wear a cast for who knows how long, and the prom is canceled all because of us! Us? You're crazy! You put the oil on the dance floor! Marley spoke so loudly that everyone there turned to look at us. Soon after, I was called to the principal's office, and I was shocked to see my parents there as well.
Thank you for coming, Mr. and Mrs. Miller. Aria's foolish behavior caused a terrible accident. It is for this reason we have decided to suspend her for 2 weeks. She will also have to miss prom.
Thank you. We appreciate your leniency. Please convey our thanks to Cassidy's parents as well, who decided not to press charges.
We will deal with Aria. Deal with me? I hadn't seen Mom so stern before. And it was all Marley's fault!
Aria, you have been acting up for a while now, but this behavior is not acceptable.
I could hear their voices, but I was so angry at Marley for letting all the blame fall on me that I wasn't really listening. But Mom knew how to grab my attention. You're grounded for a month. A month? That's not fair!
One more word, young lady, and it will be 2 months.
I just kept thinking about how I was going to get back at Marley, and now it felt like I was being bolted to the floor of my house, not able to move about anywhere other than here. As I sat in my room, thinking about how I disappointed my parents and how foolishly I acted for the past few weeks following Marley around, I broke down crying because everything was so messed up. And then I felt a hand on my shoulder. Cassidy, when did you get here? I just came to say I forgive you. Oh, Cassidy, I'm so sorry. I don't know how things got so out of control. I'm so sorry for choosing Marley over you. Oh, it had to happen. Marley is a firecracker. She just needs someone to light her fuse and then it blows up, usually in your face. Wait, what? You knew about her? Oh, yeah. She was at one of my old schools a long time ago and got suspended, but this was a lesson you had to learn on your own. A word of advice, don't try to get even. People like her just don't know when to stop. I had no idea why I doubted my mom and dad, or Cassidy. Thank you for being such a good friend, Cassidy. The next day, Mom and Dad weren't so angry anymore. All was forgotten, and it was time to look forward. Morning, sleepyhead. Did you rest well?
I made your favorite, pancakes.
After a few months, everyone at school forgot about what happened at the fall dance, but I couldn't help but notice that Cassidy was not her usual self. Is everything okay with you? No, I need to tell you something. Okay. When I came to this school, it wasn't my choice. I lived in an orphanage most of my life, and finally a nice couple adopted me. It was just a coincidence that they lived closer to your school. Wow! And summer camp? Did your parents send you there too? No, the orphanage sent me there, before I could go off with my adoptive parents. Oh, Cassidy, why did you keep this a secret? Because I just wanted to be a normal kid, but now I have to leave again. The the couple that adopted me. They lost their business and they can't afford to take care of me. I was heartbroken when I heard her story, and I felt so bad for even being jealous of her once. A few days before Cassidy could be sent back to the orphanage, I invited her over to my house for supper. Thank you all for having me. It was lovely meeting you.
Well, you could stay longer, if you want to.
Dad handed a letter to Cassidy, which I already knew what it was, and we all smiled waiting for her reaction.
You're adopting me?
I immediately hugged her and we both cried.
Yes! Welcome home, sister.
Hello, my name is Victoria, but you can call me Tori. Please like and subscribe. Growing up, it was just my dad, me, and the farm animals at his ranch. I had no siblings, and my mom worked overseas. Marcelo was my only friend, and together, we got into all kinds of mischief at the ranch. A few days after he left with his dad, guilt was eating me up, and I missed him a lot. So I confessed and begged Dad to give Mr. Diego his job back.
It's too late. I already hired someone else.
That was the last we ever spoke of Mr. Diego and Marcelo. And after that, life at the ranch became so boring. By the time I was in high school, I was pretty much a loner and only had one friend, my horse, Firefly. One day, while out exploring, Firefly skidded to a halt, sending me flying into some bushes. Ow! That's not nice, Firefly!
That was fun to watch.
Firefly? Since when can you talk? I must have hit my head because now Firefly was laughing. I sat up just as a boy walked towards me. Who are you?
I'm the guy who spooked your horse. You should have seen the look on your face as you took a nosedive.
Who was this jerk? You're trespassing. This is my dad's ranch.
What are you going to do? Tell Daddy?
Suit yourself. Keep lurking in the bushes like a creep. I climbed back on Firefly and headed home, not knowing that my life was about to get very interesting. The next day, I walked into class to find Dana, the head cheerleader, with her hand around another girl's throat.
I can't believe you kissed my boyfriend.
He's not your boyfriend, you psycho.
Just then, someone blew a whistle right next to my ear. I turned, ready to shove the whistler away, and imagine my surprise when I saw it was the jerk I'd met at the ranch. What was he doing in my class?
Ladies, calm down. There's enough of me to go around. I've got time for you both.
The girls both lunged at him and landed blows all over him while he laughed and blew kisses at them.
Fight!
I grabbed one of the girls and pulled her away. Stop it, both of you! Can't you see he's enjoying it?
Hey, Nosedive, don't ruin my fun. You can join in too.
I'd rather eat glass. And my name's not Nosedive. It's Tori.
I didn't ask. That's enough. Let's all take our seats. Everyone, please welcome Mark, your new classmate. But I see some of you have already met him.
Mark sat next to me, much to my annoyance. Throughout the day, he kept stretching his leg and stepping on my feet. I'd kick it away, but he'd kick back harder. Seriously, what was his problem? Just then, my phone rang, and I immediately knew I was in trouble.
You all know I don't allow phones ringing in my class. Tori, hand it over. You'll pick it up at the end of the week.
But
If you protest, I'll take it away for 2 weeks. The phone's mine, sir. I'm sorry. I didn't know you had a no phone rule. Well, in that case, turn it off.
Mark grinned at me, turned my phone off, then put it in his backpack.
You're welcome.
I eyed him suspiciously, wondering why he was being nice to me all of a sudden. After class, Mark took off with my phone. Hey! Give me back my phone! I ran after him, but by the time I reached him, he was already reading my texts.
Oh, look. It's a text from Daddy. He rented out the theme park for your birthday. How sweet.
I grabbed my phone and walked away to go call my dad. During the next class, I told everyone about my birthday at the park, and even though none of them were exactly my friends, they said they'd attend just so they could try out all the fun games. When the day finally came, our first stop was the Ferris wheel, but a guard blocked our entry.
I'm sorry. The Ferris wheel has been booked for our special guest.
But my dad booked.
Look, here's the guest coming now. Please move out of the way.
I turned, expecting to see some celebrity, only to see Mark?
You're the special guest!
Yeah. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a Ferris wheel to enjoy. All by myself.
How did he even get the guard to do this? As I watched the Ferris wheel start, I was overcome with rage. So I ran and jumped up and grabbed the cart he was sitting in. I will not let you ruin my birthday!
You're crazy.
And you're a jerk! Why do you hate me so much?
I don't hate you.
Then what is it? We were high up in the air now, and I was dangling from the cart, my legs swinging helplessly.
Grab my hand.
I reached out for Mark's hand, and he pulled me into the cart. Thank you.
You better sit and buckle up.
As soon as we got back to the ground, Mark jumped out of his seat and walked away. I still didn't know why he was acting the way he was, but I had a birthday to celebrate. All right, guys, we can all ride the wheel now. A few days later, I was walking around a jewelry store when the door opened and in walked Mark. He saw me, smirked, and walked right toward me.
Fancy meeting you here.
Buying matching necklaces for your girlfriends?
Are you jealous?
You wish. I shoved past him, suddenly not in the mood to shop anymore. Just then, he grabbed my bag and pulled me back.
Hey, Tori, wait. Have a great day.
As I walked out of the store, an alarm went off.
Hey, you! Stop right there.
I froze in place as a security guard grabbed my bag and ordered me to follow him. Hey, give me my bag back! I didn't do anything wrong!
You can explain yourself to the manager. Let's go.
The guard led me to a room at the back of the store. I walked in, ready to defend myself, but all the words died in my throat when I saw who was sitting behind the manager's desk. Mark, what are you doing in here? He pointed at the sign on the desk. I don't understand. You work here?
Not really. My dad owns the store and I manage it.
Just then, the guard poured the contents of my bag on the table, and out fell a bracelet. I don't know how that got in there.
Shoplifting is an offense, you know. I'll have to report you.
He must have put it in there when he grabbed my bag. Why are you doing this to me? Mark didn't answer me. Instead, he picked up his phone and dialed 911.
You have two options. You can clean the store for a month, or I'll make a report.
What? There's no way. He pressed the call button. Fine, I'll do it. Now hang up. Mark smirked, and I clenched my fists. As agreed, I cleaned the store every day after school. One evening, the store was closed and it was just Mark and I inside. I was standing on a stool, busy dusting the shelves, when the lights went off. A few seconds later, there was a loud bang as the front glass window shattered. I jumped off the stool and landed in the bucket of water I'd been using to clean. As I struggled to get up, someone grabbed my arm and I screamed again.
Shh, stay down and stop screaming.
What's going on?
We're being robbed. I need to trigger the alarm. Stay here.
Mark crawled on all fours toward his office, but a masked man grabbed him and dragged him to his feet.
Don't move!
The bad guy had his back to me, so I grabbed the bucket and hit him on the head with it. His knees buckled and he went down, releasing Mark in the process. Mark, run! We bolted and jumped through the broken window, falling onto the empty street outside.
I think you saved my life.
You're welcome. Police arrived and arrested the burglar. They recorded our statements, then told us to go home.
Come on, I'll drive you home.
No thanks. You've saved my life, now I've saved yours. We're even. Now can you leave me alone? As I walked away, Mark grabbed my hand and turned me towards him.
How can you not remember me, Tori? You used to be your best friend.
I continued to stare at him, still confused.
It's me, Marcelo.
It took a while for me to recover from that bombshell. I stared at Marcelo, wide-eyed. What?
Surprise.
Oh my god, it's really you! I went to hug him, but he pushed me away. Right, he was angry at me. Marcelo, I am so sorry for what I did to you and your dad. I was so afraid and I panicked. I didn't know Dad would fire your dad. Now I understand why you hate me so much.
I don't hate you. I'm just mad at you.
So, what happens now? You torture me for the rest of my life?
That was the plan, but I'm done. Truce?
Mark offered his hand to shake, and I chose to hug him instead. He resisted a little, but then he hugged me back. As he drove me home, he told me about how his dad had gone from ranch to ranch until he finally landed a job. It was there that he invented a farm tool that he sold to a big company, and they paid him millions for it. I was happy that life wasn't so bad for them anymore, but I was still feeling guilty. I was the reason why his dad had gotten fired. The next morning, Mark and I walked into class together, and a few jaws dropped.
Since when are you two friends?
Since forever ago. We just had a little misunderstanding. But we kissed and made up.
Dana stared daggers at me. We didn't actually kiss. Don't scratch my eyes out, please. Mark burst out laughing, and for the first time, I was happy to be at school. Mark and I hung out a lot, and after a few weeks, we were best friends again, and at times it felt like we could be even more.
Listen up, everyone. Halloween party at my house. Theme is Dress to Kill.
Everyone hooted and high-fived each other. When he sat down, he turned to me.
Hey, will you come?
Of course! I wouldn't miss it. Want to buy costumes together tomorrow?
Perfect.
At the costume shop the next day, Mark and I tried every costume imaginable. I was having so much fun teasing him when he emerged from the changing room dressed as James Bond, and I almost swallowed my tongue. When it was my turn, I picked several costumes and disappeared into the ladies' changing room, only to bump into Dana. What are you doing here?
Trying on costumes, duh.
I looked around, but she didn't have any costumes with her. But she disappeared before I could ask. Weird. I tried on several costumes, and finally, I put on a Lady Gaga costume. When I walked out of the changing room, Mark's eyes went comically huge.
Oh, wow. Hot.
I checked myself in the mirror, and the blush on my face was the size of Texas. I guess we have our costumes.
Can't wait.
Mark held the party in an old barn on his father's property. The moment I walked in, Dana appeared out of nowhere like a ghost. Jeez, you scared me.
Good, so my costume is efficient.
Nice broom. Did you write it here?
Ha ha, very funny.
I shoved past her, trying to find Mark.
Looking for your boyfriend?
He's not my boyfriend.
Oh, please, the two of you give each other googly eyes all day. It's nauseating. Anyway, he's out in the tool shed.
The shed was just outside the barn, and when I walked in, Mark wasn't there. I turned to leave, but the door was banged in my face. I grabbed the lock handle, but it didn't budge. Hello? Anyone out there? After a few minutes of banging and kicking, I grabbed an axe and swung it as hard as I could. The door went off its hinges and fell to the ground. I dropped the axe and stormed off to go find Dana. I was so sure she was the one who'd locked me in the shed. When I entered the barn, the lights had been dimmed and slow, romantic music was playing. I scanned the room for Dana, but froze when I spotted Mark with his arms around someone in a Lady Gaga costume, exactly like mine. Mark, who is this?
Tori?
Yes, it's me. Who's that?
It was so easy to fool you.
Dana, what's happening right now?
Dana locked me in the tool shed so she could pretend to be me. By now, everyone at the party was gathered around us watching the whole drama.
Why would you do that?
Just wanted to mess with you.
That's not cool.
Come on, why are you mad? You're the one who said there's enough of you to go around.
Dana, I'm sorry I treated you badly, but please, don't mess with Tori again. And just so I'm clear, I'm only enough for one girl, and she's right here.
Butterflies filled my stomach as I looked into Mark's eyes. You look so handsome in your costume.
And you look so beautiful in yours.
Ugh, I need my witch costume.
Mark and I laughed as we started dancing. It was the most perfect Halloween party ever. The end.